Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and today I have a Christmas card to share with you, and this one is using our Snowflakes Sentiment, and it is the bundle that I'm using. I'm using these adorable little framelit here that cuts these little snowflakes out at the bottom, and I embossed the sentiment and also the snowflakes. And also use some of our mini tinsel trim, which I love. This comes in a 2-pack. It comes with the red and the silver, and this silver just added what it needed, the final touch. And I also created a coordinating envelope with my envelope punch board. And if you don't have an envelope punch board, you have to have one. This card is 5.5 by 5.5, so I had to make its own envelope, and I do this quite a bit because I do like some odd size cards, and I really like to customize my envelopes to match my cards. So this is what I'm sharing today. I'm not going to share the envelope because it's just easy. It's so easy to do, and if you have an envelope punch board, you know what I'm talking about. But if you want to see an envelope made, I can show you with the envelope punch board. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there on how to do them. So today I'm going to just share the card. If you want to see it, I'd be happy to show you. So just leave a comment. Alright, so for this card, you are going to need a piece of soft sky. This piece is 5.5 by 8.5. You're going to need another piece that's 2.5 by 5.5, and this is for our snowflakes that we're going to emboss on. Now, on the soft sky, you are going to want to score it at 3.25. So this is going to create our card base. So we're going to fold that and just, I got some little piece of glue on there. Get out of there. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our little snowflakes. Now how I do that is use my little framelit as a guide. So I'm going to just set this on here like this, and I'm going to just put the edges all right to the bottom. I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to mark, this pencil really needs sharpening, the very tips right here. And this is just going to give me a guide to where to stamp my snowflakes. So I found this was the easiest way to do it. Now I need my little embossing buddy here to get all the static and all the little fingerprints that might have been left on there. I'm going to use the Versamark, and I'm going to use the larger snowflake, and I'm going to stamp that up really good. This is a new Versamark, so it's really juicy. I like when it's like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, hopefully I'm not going to get my head in here, I'm going to just line the tip with the tip here, and hopefully I'm going to get them straight. And then we're going to do that for all 3 of them. And then one more. Okay, so we have all 3 of our snowflakes. I'm going to grab our silver emboss here. Let's see if I can do this without messing up my snowflakes. And you can see I still got stuff on it. Still got little, but you can use a little brush to wipe away where you don't want it. Have a brush here. So there's a couple spots here. You can just brush that away. That's what happens when your Versamark is really juicy. Sometimes it catches the edges. I think I got that pretty good. And I think I almost got a double impression there on that. I'm going to grab this really quick and take some of that out there. I don't know why this one didn't come as clear as the other two, but we're going to go with it. I think it's going to be okay. Alright, so let me get the embossing tool and I'm going to emboss that really quickly. Okay, so we have them all embossed, and it actually came out okay. I got it a little bit crooked, I think, too, but we'll see when I cut it out if it's going to be okay. So let's go ahead and bring the big shot up here. And I'm going to use my magnetic platform. And I wish that my things here were, my plates were a little bit not so messed up, because if they're flat, this works a whole lot better. So I'm going to line these back up with the little points there. Get it as close as I can. And if you get it, all you have to do is get it pretty close. It's not going to make that much. As long as you have it pretty close, it'll work. Alright, so I'm going to do this about 3 or 4 times, because those little tiny holes will stick in there if I don't do it a few times. I could use my die brush, but it's easier if you just pull it off and it works. And of course it didn't this time, but you can probably flick these off. They're so tiny. It's really, it's so pretty, it's really worth fooling with it. Okay, so I have my die brush right here because I did have to use it before, and I'm not going to even put my die in there. I'm just going to go over this and get these out. Just be careful, you don't want to bend. And I'm using the extra thick Whisper White, so that's why, too, that they're sticking in there. But you can see they come out really easy. They're just make a mess. Alright, so I think I've got most of them out. Let's see if there's any left. I think there's just a couple. That's it, I think. Alright, so that is... And I think I did get this one a little bit off. The other one, I think it's just tilted a little bit. But I think it's going to work. I think it's fine. So let's go ahead and add it. I'm going to add some fast fuse because I want this to stay to the very edge up at the top. And this is the part you have before you put it down. Make sure your edges are where you want it. You want these all the way to the bottom and all your edges there, and then you're just going to push this down. And we're going to seal it. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. I should have stamped it first, but my mind was on these little snowflakes. And so I'm using the smaller snowflake and some soft sky to stamp these little snowflakes here. So I'm just going to stamp them kind of randomly. It's easier if you do this first, but it's okay. It's not going to... I just have to be really careful I don't get it on this part. And I'm going to close this so I can get some up here. I'm stamping off and this is where I want to stamp some there, but I can't because I already added that. But it's okay. So the next step that we're going to do is we are going to stamp the Merry Christmas. And again, I need my, and we're going to stamp it right over this other stamping. I like the way it looks. It looks like it's, you know, right underneath it, which it is, but I mean, it really, at first I didn't want to stamp over it. I thought I'll leave a space, but I like that it's all uniform and the pattern's all there. So we're just going to stamp this to the right, and then get my silver emboss again. And then we're going to emboss this piece. Okay, so we have that embossed, and I'm not sure if you knew what I was talking about, because sometimes I don't even make sense to myself. It's just late at night, so that's why. But these little emboss that I embossed underneath, I just like the way it looks underneath this embossed area. These are not embossed, they're just stamped, but it looks really nice that it's embossed right over the stamping, if that makes any sense to you. Alright, so I'm going to grab now my little tinsel trim. This is so pretty, and we're just going to tie a bow with it. This added just what it needed for this card. I need to add a little bit more. And I'm just going to tie a bow. Ties pretty nicely too. Not really difficult. Watch, I say that and I'll mess up. Okay, so I'm going to trim this just a hair. It's not slippery, so you need to get your bow where you want it. And then what I did to it also is I just used a little glue dot, and I just stuck a little tiny glue dot underneath the bow so it stays in place. Just like that. So that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the mess ups, but I'm so tired today. It's just been a long day. Anyway, there's the two that I made in the envelope that coordinates. I think they turned out really nice, but I hope you liked it. If you need any supplies, you can go to my blog at stampingwiththemora.com, and you can shop right from my blog. So everyone, have a blessed day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.